Istina is a 5-star D-cell binder support. She's available from both headhunting and recruitment, with her recruitment tags being Senior Operator, Range, Slow, DPS, and Supporter. Keep in mind that you may get other supporter operators instead of Istina when using those tags. Istina, real name Anna Morozova, has no combat experience whatsoever on account of her being a student in Chernobog at the time of the Chernobog incident. She stands 156 centimeters tall, was born on the 22nd of November in Ursus, and is of the Ursus race, specifically a spectacled bear. In her archive files, it's noted that Istina is typically seen by her peers as calm and rational, albeit introverted. She's often seen studying complex originum arts, social theories, observing others and their interpersonal relationships, and fashion. When interacting with the Ursus Student Self-Governing Group, USSG, she always gave clear and focused answers, being a positive component with communications within the USSG. The concept of the USSGG was originally proposed by Istina, with the group helping students work together and overcome the barriers of isolation and mutual distrust. When asked about Zima, Istina answered that though she's sometimes rude and unreasonable, she deeply values her friends in the USSGG and is a competent leader, and won't be a destabilizing force within Rhodes. If anything, Rhodes has underestimated her. Born in Chernobog, Istina's parents were both employed in local agencies. During the riots by student groups, Istina chose not to participate and instead read to herself in a quiet corner. She has no interest in the typical loud music and partying that her peers are interested in, and instead began looking into books from Londinium, reevaluating her worldview due to these books. When asked of her whereabouts during the Chernobog incident, Istina declined to answer. Due to Rhodes' current policies, the investigation into the USSGG has been temporarily suspended. On a separate note, due to Istina's interest in reading, it suggested that she be given reading privileges to the books within the doctor's office. Istina is confirmed to be non-infected. She has a cell originum assimilation of 0% and a blood originum crystal density of 0.1 parts per liter. The notes say that Istina currently shows no signs of infection at the time, and she rarely came into contact with originum. In her character art, drawn by Skade, Istina wears a white collared shirt with a teal-blue trim around the collar, a teal tie, beige button-up sweater, black pleated skirt, brown beret, monocle over her left eye, a belt around her torso and waist, beige and teal socks, the right one being held up by a belt, brown leather loafers, and a brown and teal coat with multiple belts on it. Near the bottom of the jacket, there's a patch that reads G. Cuvier, the naturalist who named the spectacled bear, a patch with Ursus on it on the opposite side, and a patch with Tremactos ornatus, the scientific name for the spectacled bear, on her right shoulder. The book she holds is quite damaged, with the Cyrillic on the front reading Marxism-Leninism. In her voice lines, voiced by Aoi Yuki, who also voices Iris in Pokemon, Chiaki Tanamura in Beelzebub, Madoka Kaname in Madoka Magica, Rivaloon in Yuri Yuri, Ringo-chan in The Daily Lives of High School Boys, Kamachi Hikigaya in Rom-Com Snafu, Pishi in Neptunia, Diane in Seven Deadly Sins, Yuki Kono in SAO, Tatsumaki in One Punch Man, Clementine in Overlord, Suyu Asui in MHA, Kotatsu Tamaki in Fire Force, Tanya von Dekirachov in Tanya the Evil, Asuza Aizawa in Killing Slimes for 300 Years, Norea Dunak in Witch from Mercury, Mami Nanami in Rent a Girlfriend, Futaba Sakura in Persona 5, Shuten Doji in Tiamat in FGO, Pascal in Nier Automata, Manat in Street Fighter V, Finch in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Taiho in Azure Lane, Suzume in Precon, M1918 Bar in Girls Frontline, Lumine in Genshin, and Fiona in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Istina likes talking about books and sometimes talks of the Chernobog incident.
仕方ありません。この執務室を木っ端みじんにする力を見せてあげましょう。冗談ですよ。この部屋には大切な本がたくさんありますから、そんなことはできません。 戦場に身を置くのは不本意です。が、生き残りたいという気持ちは誰にも負けません。それをご理解いただければ十分です。ジマーと私、他の皆さんの学校は違いますが、ジマーの噂は各校に届いていました。冬将軍という通り名とともに。かっこよくありませんか？冬将軍。ふむ。チェルノボーグからどうやって逃げてきたのか、ですか？ふむ。やめましょう。その答えを知れば、ドクターも聞かなければよかったと思うはずです。はい。ミステリー小説を読んでいます。あの事件から逃げ延びるとき、この本で学んだことが役に立ちました。他に好きな本ですか？政治、経済もの、唯物弁証法に関するもの、といったところでしょうか。他にも、お菓子作りの雑誌とかも読みます。家？ふるさとの家ですか。もう帰れないし、何も残ってない。ご存知でしょ。たとえチェルノボーグが再建されたとしても、私は。ロドスは安全ですし、ドクターの執務室にはたくさんの本があります。できれば、離れたくないですね。先のこと？ええ、わかりません。どの本にも書いてありませんから。いつかどなたかに教えていただけるといいのですが、ここは騒がしいので、ドクターの執務室で本を読んでいたいです。
At E2 level 80 with max trust, potential, and module, Istina has 1,440 HP, 606 attack, 68 defense, 20 resistance, a 66-second redeploy time, 13 DP cost, and has an attack speed of under 1.9 seconds. Her range is the standard range of a D-cell binder supporter, that being the 8 tiles directly around her, plus 3 tiles in front of her. At max trust, she gets plus 65 attack. At max pot, she gets minus 2 DP, minus 4 seconds to redeploy, plus 23 attack, and a buff to her talent. Her talent, Explorer, at E2 pot 4, reduces Istina's defense by minus 35%, but gives plus 21 attack speed in exchange for the lowered defense. Istina has 2 base skills, with one being unlocked when she reaches E2. Her first base skill, Supporter Expert Alpha, when Istina is training a supporter in the training room, plus 30% mastery speed. Her second base skill, Military Advisor, when Istina is assigned to the reception room, plus 10% clue search speed, and it's easier to obtain USSGG clues. Istina's first skill, Concentration, gains SP over time and is manually triggered, with all levels starting with 20 SP. Level 7 needs 44 SP to proc and lasts 26 seconds, while M3 needs 40 and lasts for 30 seconds. At level 7, Istina's attack speed is reduced by 1 second, making it roughly 0.9 seconds. At M3, Istina's attack speed is reduced by 1.1 seconds, making it roughly below 0.8 seconds. Her second skill, Literature Storm, gains SP over time and is manually triggered, lasting for 25 seconds at levels 7 through to M3, and needing 50 SP to proc at all levels, with level 7 starting with 20 SP and M3 starting with 30 SP. At level 7, Istina gets plus 30% attack, her range expands, and she now attacks a total of 3 targets. At M3, Istina gets plus 75% attack. This raises her attack to 788 at level 7, or 1061 at M3. Istina has a DEC-Y module, named Reading Notes, which extends the period during which an enemy is slowed after being attacked by Istina from 0.8 seconds to 1.2 seconds. At module level 3, Reading Notes buffs Explorer, which now increases her attack speed to 24 or 34 when her skill is active. She also gets plus 160 max HP and plus 5 attack speed. To unlock and max out her module, you must have Istina at E2 level 50, have 100% trust with her, complete 5 total battles deploying your own Istina and having her deal at least 25,000 damage, 3-star stage 2-3 deploying your own Istina and only 6 other operators allowed for the remaining units, have 6 module data blocks, 20 data patching strips, 8 data patching devices, 3 crystalline circuits, 4 manganese trihydrates, 5 incandescent alloy blocks, and 150,000 LMD. Istina is quite literally the definition of a glass cannon, or in her case, a glass machine gun. As a D-cell binder supporter, her attacks allowed her to slow enemies for 0.8 or 1.2 with her module second time frame while doing arts damage. Her stats are alright, with her talent giving her a sizable boost to her attack speed, her S1 further buffing her attack speed for up to 30 seconds, and her S2 giving her a massive range and up to plus 75% attack buff, and allows her to attack up to 3 targets at a time for 25 seconds at the higher levels. The downsides come in when it comes to survivability and other options. Though her talent, Explorer, may give her a sizable buff to her attack speed, it also reduces her defense by 35%, over 1/3 of her total defense. And with her HP being as comparatively low as it is, she'll likely not take more than a few hits before having to retreat. But if you're smart, you don't put your weak units down last. There's also the issue of other ops, such as Angelina and her S3 dealing more damage to more targets than Istina, albeit with a different range and the penalty of not being able to attack normally without using the skill. There's also the SP cost on her S2 to factor in as well for Istina, where Angelina, I believe, has literally half the required SP needed to proc her S3. Overall, Istina can be a great option if you need a massive amount of DPS all at once, but will likely be swapped out for Angelina simply because her S3 has a quicker charge, hits more enemies, and does more damage, while also having more survivability than Istina on account of passive healing and not having 1/3 of her defense being taken away by her talent. Medium priority to build. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter and Blue Sky for updates, and please check out my other Azure Lane and Girls Frontline videos as well. There will be a teaser out tomorrow for next week's character and story summaries.